Alright, so this is my second movie review today. It is my second horror film that I've seen today, but luckily I didn't have to see this movie alone. I saw it with my really good friend, Joe Caldwell, Caldwell3. Check him out on YouTube. Awesome guy who just loves horror films. And as I said before, I saw two horror films now. I reviewed the first one, and now the second one is called As Above, So Below. I had to remember that. It's a terrible title. I hate this title. I'm not a fan of this title at all. It just messes with me for some reason. I just feel like I should say so above, down below. I don't know. I get really confused. But anyways, let's talk about this film. Alright, so the film is a found footage movie. It comes from the director of Quarantine, the Pisky something tapes that I never saw that film. I ever seen the trailer a few times, but I never saw the film. I did see Quarantine. I didn't like it. But he also made a film in 2010 called Devil, which I liked, with reservations. I still like that movie. It's got its problems and issues, but it was fun for what it was. You know, people trapped in a... Anyways, that's another movie. Let's get into this one. Forget it. Okay, so with this film, it's a found footage movie. It's centered around a young woman who loves to seek out treasure. She's like a treasure hunter, even though she doesn't want to be called that. She's got this documentary guy, crew guy with her, filming her on these adventures. She's looking for this magical stone. I believe it's called the Philosopher's Stone, and it definitely reminded me of Harry Potter, even though in America it's called the Sorcerer's Stone. Back in the UK, it's called the Philosopher's Stone. Anyway, so she's on this trail to get to France or Paris or whatever, and go into the catacombs underground and search for this stone and whatever's down there. She brings like this boyfriend that she had at one time. He kind of gets trapped into this, as well as a team of French civilians that know their ways around this tunnel and stuff like that. So they're going down underneath, taking cameras. They have one camera, and then they have like these cameras on their lights, on their heads. And so yeah, of course, you know, as a found footage movie, they still have to stick all these cameras in. I was not excited about this movie at all. I really did not care to even see this film. There was just nothing really from the trailers. I was never really like, oh my gosh, this looks so interesting. Something I'm going to see new in the horror genre, the survival genre, or the found footage genre. I just never felt that way going into it. And at first I felt like the movie had a really good pace as I'm watching it and get to know the characters, even though they're for the most part completely forgettable. I don't remember their names or personalities. They're just the people that we're going to get to know, and probably one by one they're all going to die in this whole crazy situation. And they get lower and lower and down into the hole. There's, you know, weird stuff going on. They're seeing images. Some people are seeing people hanging from the ceiling. Other people are seeing burning cars. Some people are seeing people drowning. It's kind of like this tunnel, this area, wherever they're going. I mean, they're going down, down, down. So I imagine they're going somewhere deep into the darkest pits of hell. But they're seeing these things, and we're seeing these images through their eyes, and it's also through the camera. Actually, somehow this is all got picked up on the camera. But you know, the movie has its issues. It's not really, doesn't really feel like a movie. To me, it felt like more like an attraction. Like I'm going to an amusement park and I'm going on a roller coaster where we have this build up, and then and then more build up, and then you know. So there's like some cool jump scares that happen from time to time. Some really good creepy imagery that really creeps me out. I like the fact that we're always wondering what's behind the corner, even though the camera does shake a lot. It's a found footage movie, but I'm always like wondering like, where are we going around here and all this stuff. So that's what really kept my interest in this film. This is not a good horror movie. It's not a grand movie that makes you really care about what's going on. But I think if you go in with my attitude, in the sense while I was watching it, and the attitude I had before was terrible, but while I was watching it, I had a better attitude because I was actually really interested of how this was all working out. And just, I didn't really become invested in the characters themselves. I was just wondering how deep this hole goes and where are we actually going. The sad part about it is, I'm not going to give anything away, but the ending is trying to be something completely different from other horror films, but it fails miserably because it's not that interesting. When we get down to the bitter end of the film, I was just like, really? That's how you're going to end it? Wow, that's a disappointment. But I did like that movie's like 90 minutes, and I always felt like I was somewhat intrigued about what was happening. So I'm going to give it a slight recommendation. I'm not going to give it a strong recommendation or even a recommendation to people who are horror fans. But if you're someone like me who likes to have that feeling of claustrophobic, but know that you're perfectly safe being in a theater, but having that feeling always in the back of your mind, you might enjoy this film. But you know, if this is something that doesn't really grasp at you, you're not going to enjoy this movie at all. It's not something spectacular or life-affirming or life-changing in the horror genre. It is pretty much the same stuff we get time and time again. But for me, it works somewhat. So I'm going to give it a slight recommendation and say only if you get a chance to see it for free, matinee, Redbox, but just don't rush out and see it. You don't need to spend this hard-earned money to actually go watch it. So I'm going to give it a slight recommendation and give it a slight 3 stars out of 4. I'm MovieManCHAD. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. And please go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePod.com, and if you enjoyed this video review, please click right here, subscribe to my channel. Also, please click right here, subscribe to my friend Joe Caldwell at Caldwell3. Great guy. So glad we did a review for We Live Film tonight. Please check that out on the We Live Film channel, but also please subscribe to Joe. He's a great guy and really loves horror films. And you can also find out what he thought about the movie on We Live Film on probably his own channel. Hopefully he'll do a review. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful life, and I'll see you at my next movie review. Bye, everyone.